Okay, after the battle. Manav, can you read the first paragraph, please?
Yes. Major Rio and his men were not full
Aware.
aware of the total
Annihilation.
annihilation of the seventh curly until
Cavalry.
curly huh? What sir?
Cavalry. Read it.
Cavalry.
Cavalry
Cavalry.
Cavalry generally Tira awarded a award on July 27th, and the soldiers avoided to a
Arrived.
horrible
Arrived.
avoided to arrive arrived to horrible scenes to offer 210 dead soldiers, which includes
Included.
Custer.
Custer.
Yeah, Manav, good job. You know what? If you look at that picture, those graves are not in a regular straight line like a lot of graves in a graveyard would be here in the United States. I wonder why those graves are so scattered like that. Do you have any ideas? What do you think, Manav?
Ma'am, I didn't understand the question.
Oh, so sir, can you point to the little white dots in the
You
field?
can see this. These are
Yes,
the
sir.
names of the people who died there, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
those are
sir.
the
They have their
names, but
graves. You know, they are
yeah,
buried
they're
under
graves.
this. And they have
But
Yes,
how
sir.
come, sir, what do you think?
You want me to explain him or you want me to answer this?
Yeah, you can answer it. Go ahead.
Okay. So I think this is the only place where they have sacrificed their life, where they are died. So I think the whole area is just surrounded by the fencing wall, and their names are just given to the particular grave where they are buried. So they are scattered means maybe this is the place where the actual war has taken place and
That's right.
where they lost their lives.
Yes. And
No,
that's
We can
exactly,
call it the battlefield.
no,
ma'am?
sir, but they will not come in together, sir.
Why?
Means they will stand somewhere where some
Ma'am?
another places. It is not possible, sir. Means everyone will come and everyone stay there only.
No,
But
after the death, they are buried in that area because the war was.
no, sir. You said
Ah,
na
ah,
they died there only, and
ah.
then it is not possible only, sir, because they will be that soldiers will standing somewhere else, sir. And you are telling, sir, they will stay there and they died there only.
See, this is another picture. Okay, this is the
No,
picture.
sir, that up one up.
Up one only, na. So this
Yes, sir.
area, sometime the area is called. The area is given a particular name. Any
It's a
incident
memorial.
occurred
It's a
there.
memorial.
If any incident occurred there, the name to that area is given. Okay, it become a very
So
what we can say very important place, and a
it's a
particular historical place,
it's
we can say.
a historic battlefield. And the
Yes,
reason that the graves are not in straight rows is they buried the soldiers
yes.
after the war, but they didn't move the bodies in straight rows. So that's exactly where they fell. And all of those bodies are the white US cavalry. None of the Indians were buried there. So forget how many men, 210 dead soldiers are remembered for their bravery there by the big white
Yeah.
memorial in the middle,
This one.
because they were brave. They did their job as soldiers. And let's go ahead and go to Sartak. Can you read the last two paragraphs?
Many of the men, including Custer, were found along a hill which is known as Custer's Hill or Last Stand Hill. Most of the soldiers had been stripped of their belongings. Within 2 days, all the Native Americans had spilled up into groups and left the area.
Split
They went back
into
to their
groups.
homes. Yeah, let's go to the next slide.
Wow.
So I believe now it's, I don't see, we're going to go to Daksh, please.
Weapons used. The Native American warriors used a variety of weapons, including Stone Age war clubs to powerful firearms like muzzleloader. And the 7th Cavalry soldier carried two firearms, which were the Springfield Model 1873 and 1873 Colt revolver.
So the Colt revolver was a handgun, and then they had the rifle. So there you go. Let's go to the next page.
Oh.
And I believe now it's going to be Manav's turn.
Yes, ma'am. After the battle of the Big Bone,
Bighorn.
Big Bone, General
Nelson.
Mills leads a group taking down the tribals who
Right.
attacked the 7th Cleaver in May 1877. The soldiers being attack against the Sioux Indians.
Okay, Sartak, can you read? Thank you, Manav. Good job. How about Sartak, read the last two paragraphs?
Soon after, Sitting Bull was able to escape to Canada, while Crazy Horse surrendered at Fort Robinson. The Sioux Wars ended on May 7, 1877, with General Miles' defeat of the remaining Sioux warriors.
Okay, so Crazy Horse, we haven't learned too much about him. He never got his picture taken, but he was one of the very wise leaders of the Sioux Nation. And we're going to learn a little bit more about him. So let's go to the next slide. And Indian casualties. Let's go to Shivansh.
Indian sclavity.
That means the dead people, the casualty is when you die in battle.
At the Battle of the Little Bighorns, it is established that the 36 to 300 men died in the battle. One Sioux chief, Red House, said 136 men
Perished, it means died.
perished from the tribes, but many estimate the numbers was between 50 to 60 died.
Dead.
Yeah, so there you go. There's a good picture, close-up picture taken long ago of one of the Sioux warriors. Do you think he looks pretty tough?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. She looks very tough and brave.
Not
Yeah.
she. He's a man.
He.
He's a man.
Yeah, we talked yesterday about, like, again,
Yes,
about their very
yes.
smooth faces and no facial
Ma'am,
hair.
it's
So
not understandable. It's a girl or it's a man or women.
yeah, long hair. Yeah, that was their style. Okay, let's go to the next slide.
Fashion.
And it's Shivansh's turn.
Ma'am, should I read?
Shivansh's turn.
7th level crashed list. In the entire battle, 16 offers and 242 troopers died. All of the men in the 5 companies that went with Custer into battle died. The only surviving animals from the Clever was Captain Keyhong Key of
You did
Seahorse.
good job.
Horse, Comanche
Good job.
in Comanche in 1878. 24 men from the battle were awarded the Medal of Honor.
Okay, so the Medal of Honor. There you go. Let's go to the next slide.
Ma'am, should I read?
I believe it's Doc's turn. Oh, Doc, you want to do that next?
Yeah. In June 1876, after the U.S. Custer's defeat, the U.S. Congress approved a sell or starve measure to Indian tribes. The government would cut off all food to Indian tribes unless they gave up their sacred land
Sacred?
in the Black Hills area near Little Bighorn River to the United States government.
Yep, so you can see it's hilly country, very beautiful, and the tribes were forced to give up their land there, and that's where the gold was. So let's go to the next page or next slide.
Oh, cannon.
Ma'am, should I read?
Yes, sir.
This cannon of that time, I think.
Stop.
Yeah. It's a
Stop, sir.
cannon.
Stop.
It's a cannon type, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but it
This
is
is
a
a
gun.
special gun, like a
Yeah.
machine gun on wheels.
Yeah.
And so it was a new invention called a
Yeah.
Gatling gun. I think we'll learn about that. So, Sartak, would you like to read that about Custer's errors, the big mistakes he made?
I'm from first. Many historians claim that Custer made some very big errors which led to his defeat. The errors include his refusal of bringing the powerful Gatling gun. Custer thought the gun was too heavy and would not be needed. He also refused the additional battalion offered to him by General Terry and then underestimated the amount of Native Americans who were at Little Bighorn.
There's some really good job there. And you know, if you look at that underestimated, those are really long words. And when you look at them, they're a higher level vocabulary word. But you all know what estimate means, which is guessing. So if you underestimate, you didn't guess enough. You didn't know how many Americans were there. He didn't know there was 10,000 Native Americans camping there. So don't ever be afraid of those big, long words. Because you can break them down so often into 2 words, and then it makes a lot of sense. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, and I believe it's going to be Shivansh. Would you like to read that again?
Yes, ma'am. Battlefield preventions. In 1879, the seat was made into the United States Nation Cemetery. The area was prevised to protect all the graves of the 7th Cavalry. In 1946, the site was
Redesignated
as the Custer Battlefield National
Monument. That's what Sir was saying. You know, sometimes if something in history happened at a place, they will turn it into a national park or a national monument. I'm sure you have those in India.
We have
Right.
many monuments.
Oh, after so many years of history, I can't imagine how many monuments you would have. Yeah, a lot more years
The
than the United
world-renowned
States.
monuments. Actually, India has become the center of attraction for the tourist around the world because of monuments. We have
Okay.
Ellora Caves, Ajanta Caves. We have Taj Mahal, the symbol of love for the world. They have so many monuments. We are
So
proud
many
of being.
monuments.
Yes, born in the country where the people from different corner of the world would like to visit and just enjoy that.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Let's see. Sartak, have you had a chance to read?
Yes, ma'am. Eventually, the tribes moved to portions of land that were exclusively reserved from them. The tribes are sovereign nations of these reservations. Removal and settlement on reservations serve two purposes for the United States. First, it cleared land of Native Americans for Western expansion. Second, it permitted the United States to carry out a program and Americanizing tribes into communities of small farmers. Neither of these goals were ever truly met.
I am sorry that the people have checked out of this because the best is for last. So you guys hang in there because we're going to find something surprising. Let's go to the next. Okay, so these were the worst. We remember Crazy Horse was one of the leaders, but he was also what we call a visionary. He was like a prophet. And he had a dream and he learned something. And so Manaf, would you like to read this slide, please?
Yes, ma'am. In the late 18th, Gary's horse had upon suffering beyond suffering the red nation shall rise again, again, and it shall be a blessing for a sick wood.
So the Native Americans called themselves the Red Nation because their skin was dark brown with a little bit of a red cast to it. So Manaf, go ahead and read the next part.
A world field with a broken
Promises.
position, still finish and spirituation, a word longing for light again. I see a time of 7
Generations.
generation when all the colors of mankind will gather under the
Sacred.
trees of life, and the whole earth will become one tree.
Circle. Isn't that interesting? So he foresaw a time of peace when all the colors of people would be looking for light again, looking for a better way. So let's go to the next slide. And Sartak, can you read that, please?
Yes, ma'am. In that day, there will be those among the Lakota who will carry knowledge and understanding of unity among all living things. And the young white ones will come to those of my people and ask for the wisdom. I salute the light within your eyes, where the whole universe dwells. For when you are at the center within you and I am in that palace within me, we shall be as one. Last words of Chief Crazy Horse to Chief Sitting Bull 1877.
So there you go. And then remember Chief Sitting Bull fled to Canada. Chief Crazy Horse was captured and taken to Fort Robinson, and Chief Crazy Horse lost his life at Fort Robinson. So, but there was a promise from Chief Crazy Horse that is so amazing. Let's go to the next slide.
Oh.
Whoa. He says, what did he say, Manaf?
I will return to you in stone.
Remember, this was 1877 when he said this. He had no way of knowing that they would come one day and carve him into a mountain. And when it's finished, it will be the biggest statue in the whole world, made out of granite. So this is a little link that we can finish up with today. And if Sir will click on that, it's a film about Crazy Horse Memorial in the Black Hills of South Dakota.
This one.
Mhm.
Okay.
A towering monument to one of the most revered figures in Native American history is slowly taking shape in South Dakota, not far from another giant memorial, Mount Rushmore. Crazy Horse was among the leaders of the Lakota Sioux who attacked and destroyed a U.S. Army regiment in 1876, a two-day battle that went down in history as Custer's last stand. The sculpture's creation began in 1947 and is likely to take more than a century to complete. Mark Albert traveled to Crazy Horse, South Dakota to show us why.
Soaring over the dense woods of the Black Hills is a monument to a Native American legend and to a dream deferred. Here, crews are carving the history of the Oglala Lakota and their fearless warrior, Crazy Horse. They were pushed out of these lands once, but granite is much harder to banish. For nearly 70 years now, workers have toiled on this mountain. Monique Julkowski's father was the first. What year did construction begin here?
June 3rd, 1948.
And it is 2016.
Yes,
You're still going 7 decades later.
we are. Yeah, we are.
Why is it taking so long?
That's a big mountain. That's a big mountain.
And the weight of transforming it into an icon is heavy indeed. Julkowski's father, Korchak, was still bending the mountain to his will at 69, as 60 Minutes' Morley Safer found when he visited in 1977. Korchak started carving when he was 32.
Tell me, mister, how can I ask you to believe that I can carve that mountain if I don't believe in myself first? Of course I'm egotistical. I believe I can do it. I know I can do it. All my life I wanted to do something so much greater than I could ever possibly be.
Korchak helped etch Mount Rushmore in the summer of 1939, which drew the attention of Lakota Chief Henry Standing Bear, who invited him to design a memorial to American Indians.
He said, my fellow chiefs and I would like the white man to know the red man had great evils too.
But Korchak instead volunteered to serve in World War II and landed on Omaha Beach. It would steel him for the fights to come. After the Allies won, he turned down offers to build war memorials in Europe to instead construct one to another leader in battle, Crazy Horse. Korchak's wife Ruth told Safer it became all-consuming.
His work has to come first, or he'd just be another person selling insurance or cars or something like that.
I said, never forget. It comes first. You come second.
Wow.
Did she agree?
She said, it's all right with me, dear. Now the children know that. They know they can bet.
What was it like to be told that you were third, that the mountain was your dad's first priority?
Coming third in my world was first in most other kids' lives. So the love that I got was more than most other kids got.
Very fortunate.
Yep.
You never looked at it as if you were third place.
No.
In 7 decades, crews have blasted and hauled millions of tons of rock from the site.
The mountain was shaped kind of like the shape of a pig's back.
In a 1977 Jeep with her childhood silver hard hat in the back seat, Julkowski took us up the winding road to the top,
And this is Crazy Horse's arm that we're on now.
where her father's vision peers out over the hills. The carving is more than 64 stories tall. Crazy Horse's eyes are 17 feet wide, and all 4 of Mount Rushmore's presidents will be able to fit under the Native American leader's arm when it's finished.
Both blocks are being hand drilled and removed with feathers and wedges, and then our manager picks it up carry them away.
How close are we to seeing that outstretched hand?
But I'd say 5 to 7 years.
It's still a family affair. 3 of Monique Jokowski's siblings also work on the project, along with 4 of Korchak and Ruth's grandchildren.
Use shims and wedges, drill a lot of holes.
Including 32-year-old Caleb, the 3rd generation.
Hopefully 1,000 years from now, people will still see it. And it just kind of grounds you to, I don't know, a deeper story of America that people just maybe won't be aware of.
Dreams don't come cheap, though. How much money do you get from the federal government for this project?
None.
How much do you get from the state government?
None.
How do you pay the bills?
Admission fees and donations.
96% of the books submitted to publish.
There you go.
Is
That's it. So anyway, now that was a little bit older video, and now the hand is pointing. You can see the finger, and the work will go on, they think, for maybe another 100 years until it's done. So quite an accomplishment.
I think this is half done only. Some still more part is remaining. Should we run it or we should stop?
Let's stop, yeah.
Okay.
But so it's wonderful to be with you today and to hear about the battle, and you all read so well. Give yourself a pat on the back. You did super well.
Yes, all children, ma'am, is asking you.
Yeah. And so I will say, bid you good evening, and hope you have a good night's sleep and be ready for school tomorrow.
And you also have a great day, ma'am, ahead.
Thank
you
you.
so much for your precious time and your efforts. And
And you
really,
as well. You all worked hard today. Appreciate
yes,
it.
yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Sir,